Welcome to the Seven Sense Podcast.
This is a space to explore, reflect, and share.
Open conversations for the heart, mind, and soul.
Welcome to episode 4. My name is Edna and Njeri.
My name is Eugene Geshaga.
So how have you been? How's your week before we...
So first of all, I did the most. And so I paid for it the first 2 days of the week.
He's talking about a hangover.
I drank like bare cocktails and I'm not like the alcohol drinking type of person. So that was a bit heavy for my body. But I've been in a really good mood. I feel like it's been a
shows.
It's been a good week. Can't complain. Yours?
My week, it's been cold. It's cold in Nairobi. It's been raining, it's been gloomy. Not my favorite weather.
Yeah.
I would like to be by a beach with some cocktails, living my best life,
No cocktails, man. But yeah.
But I've had a very productive week, and that's always a good sign of a good week for me. Done a lot of work, still got a lot of work to do. It's been productive. I haven't gone on a walk this week, which is not great.
Wow.
It's been a good week. I would give it like a 7 out of 10 just because of the weather and that I haven't slept that much as I would like to sleep.
Oh yeah?
So I've been plant-based for the past, I would say, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, it's actually been 2 weeks. I have the weirdest dreams. Like, such weird dreams. I really don't know if that's related to the diet.
It should be.
It should be.
It should be. Yeah.
I've been so... I wouldn't say... What should I say? If tired was a mood, but tired isn't a mood. I've just been like...
Wow.
That's been my mood. But it's gotten better. I think the fact that I've been busy has helped, so I haven't had time to just sit there and mope.
I did a mask, the clay mask on Saturday, because no one was in the house. I should feel so nice. I felt brand new.
That's been our week, so I think now we can get into today's episode. We like to start off the episodes with a little game for us to get to know each other a bit better and for you guys to also get to know a bit more about us. So do you want to start?
I feel like I started last time.
Okay, I'll start.
You always blame me.
When did you fall in love for the first time? The first time I thought I was in love, I was 10. Keyword thought I was in love.
Okay, cool.
The first time I was actually in love, I was 18.
I don't know, I just wanted to know because I feel like it helps me understand. Like, I feel like you fall in love younger, you get to, as you mature, you're able to understand and just figure out this one is not, this one is, and this one is going to waste my time. Yeah, I just want to understand that part.
I've only been in love like maybe 4 times in my whole life. How many times have you been in love?
First time?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to sound like a crazy ass story, but it was in primary school, in class 6.
Me too.
Class 6, and then, so I asked her, like, got the girls to ask out like on a Friday, and we're going for midterm. She was called Doris, I remember. Like, she was top of the class. It's like, oh shit.
Dream girl.
So, yeah, so in my mind, I'm just like, she's never gonna say yes. You can see how she was in like a danda, but I feel like,
standards,
smartest kid in the class. So, asked her on a Friday, got the guts. And she's like, yeah, I'd like to. I've been waiting for you to ask. I'm like, oh shit, cool. So I asked out on Friday. We're going for midterms, it's a whole week. We get back to school, and what are we being told? Doris died in a fire. Yeah, so for me it was like the most. I know this. You didn't expect that story. Yeah, so me it's just like I'm coming back to school. I'm like, oh, I have a girlfriend now. She died in a fire. So they're going apparently for their midterm break. They're going to coast with the family. And when a fire broke out in their room, they couldn't jump from where they were. It was like too high. So they just burnt in their room. So her and her sister. So I remember going for that, like, how you go for the matangas. Yeah, it was just like in my mind I felt like I'd been robbed, and I feel like that's what made me also understand and also appreciate when things come.
That's not what I expected. Just give me a sec. I'm like so hyped. I was like, you're gonna say, then we went on our date, What?
That for me, I felt like was the one thing I'd wanted, got it.
And the universe was like, nope.
Nope. It's a bit selfish. I mean, that's someone who lost their life, rest in peace. And also a family lost their daughter and everything.
Yeah.
But for me, I was just like, yo.
That's so crazy.
Like, we didn't even get to talk. That was the first time I fell in love.
You see it so casually though.
Because I've been with it, since class 6. How old am I in class 6? 12. Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
That's the first time. I don't even know. I'm being able to laugh about it because
years and years.
Years, and also I've been through. That's why sometimes I feel like if I sit down to talk to a therapist, they'll be like, and you're still here.
This is the thing when people say they lie to their therapist because they don't want to get committed.
Nah, I mean, I feel like
they don't
I
want
would
to get
say.
committed to an institution. So you don't want to like really, you tell them like versions of the story.
That they need to know, and
Yeah.
that sounds okay. So this one was that was one of the ones there. So that was the first time I fell in love.
I'm so
And,
sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so you pick a question.
What's your biggest goal or vision for 7 Cents? For it to be a legit radio show where we're doing this thing every week. We're going to sit in a studio and we're recording it. Even the studio we built. But my idea is for us to actually make it a fully fledged radio show, podcast radio show, however you want to put it. You see how you have the shows on Apple Music? I want 7 Cents to be one of those shows that you see there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my vision for me. It's that.
I just want us to have like a strong community. Like I feel like the podcast I listen to, like Small Doses with Amanda Seals, she has like Smart, Funny and Black community, which is on its own app. It's like its own community of black people and like allies. And also just the network. Like you see when podcasts like Studio Queens, they have like a HBO show. You know, it's like the community comes with so much. 2 things you want to remain the same post-COVID. Like 2 things you want to that have become a thing because of this pandemic that you want to remain the same. Not having to hug everyone. Like I don't mind not having to hug people.
Yeah, true.
That's cool. Like I'm good on that.
Fuck with that.
Maybe just the distance in social places, like restaurants, banks, like we can stand like a bit far from each other.
Personal space now becomes real.
Personal space, that would be nice.
Mad.
I also don't really mind work from home. We don't really have to like parent in this place to just go see each other when we could.
Things I can do at home.
We can do a lot of virtual,
Mad.
Yeah, that would be nice.
The one I agree with is, especially because I use like a lot of, okay, not a lot, but when I have to move around, it's public transport, especially from home. It's that thing I get to sit solo, like in the job, like no one is next to me, that I love. So it's that personal space I get. And then, not having to touch people, I feel like for me that's so key. So I feel like sometimes I hug someone and it's just out of social courtesy.
Yeah.
I feel like I really don't want to hug you, and then it's gonna be weird because you already put your arms out, and then I can't be there. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that.
It's weird.
I feel like you're wearing masks.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like for me it's just.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, now that you think about it, we're actually really unhygienic in our interaction. Like, we're always in each other's space.
I'm touching you.
I touch this, I touch you, you touch 5 other things. It's not really.
Well, it should not be something we've been doing, you get? Because I'm trying to think about how many times even growing up we used to be told, oh, wash your hands before you eat.
And then you just don't, and you've come from,
like, in front of you.
Even things like going out, like the interactions you have with people in a
Now, to be honest, it's going out to the clubs. I feel like just the clubs being closed. If that can continue, I know for me it's like a double standards because also we get gigs. But it's just that thing of just going out to the clubs. I feel like I won't feel that pressure. Okay, fine, now I have to go and look for gigs. I have to be. I don't like being around people, so this is working for me. But whoever is booking, you ever listen to this episode, just don't feel like you can't book me. If you had a genie, what would be your 3 wishes? I'd wish for immortality.
What?
2, I'd wish like for not an island, but I get to be like president of a country I create, and you can only come in because I've vetted, like I have someone, a committee that's vetting people, but I get to pick who comes to live in my country. And then 3, like my family to be, I don't want them to live forever, because I feel like that's the only thing that makes me special if I'm immortal, but I'm able to take care of them for as long as they're around. Family and friends, I think so. 3 things I'd wish for.
I would wish for time travel, because I wish I could see what the future holds and then come back and just leave or go to the past and like savor interactions that I've had with people.
Okay.
I would wish for a way to like figure out sustainability in terms of like recycling, just cleaning, like what we do with the trash, let's make the like earth better, sustainability sort of. And health for the people like her, like just health, just good health and peaceful deaths for the people like her, but health as well.
Health as well. I feel like today we kept it a bit, it was not too deep, it was nice.
Yeah. So episode 4, titled Lost But Found. This is all Shaga's doing. He's taking over and he's gonna guide us through the discussion. So what do you wanna know? What do you want to talk about?
So why I came up with Lost But Found is, I don't want to say lost and found, because I feel like when you say lost and found is, you are meant to be lost, but then you were found. But when I say lost but found is, it was kind of like your destiny to come back to yourself. And I wanted to break this down into like a couple of questions where I feel like we're coming from being lost, then to being found, and then you're giving someone who's been lost like advice. So the first question is, how did you get lost?
Why don't you answer first so that I can see how
it goes?
Yeah.
I feel like I got lost, just simply put, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And it's been a journey. I feel like I will always walk, but at least now I have a compass. Before I felt like I was just walking, no compass. Then it's just whatever I hear, and then whatever I feel, I go. I was never really grounded in anything. That's why I feel like I got lost, and I think I got sorted up in a world maybe I was not ready for. That's how I put it.
The question was how?
Yeah, how did I get lost?
Which was not being grounded, basically.
I wasn't grounded in, honestly, myself. Emotionally, I was never grounded in what I know I need to. I was never honest with my emotions about what I'm feeling and then what other things are making me feel. So, over time, ignoring my feelings because I could numb my feelings. I think over time, I was not ever able to be honest with what I'm feeling. And then, if I'm seeing people around me, this is not to blame anyone who's around me, but people who were around me or are around me, I feel like if you all are happy, I can't be the one coming through feeling not happy. So always just try and keep up being happy or to look like you're happy. So that was the emotional part. Mentally, I got lost because I didn't know I had this muscle like mentally that I need to be able to take care of. So in my head, mental is just I'm smart. But that's how I thought about mental is just,
there's like a brain, but then
brain.
there's also like mind.
So I didn't know about the mind.
Yeah.
And experiences led me to be aware of my mind. I think all these things, I want to say I'd never had an awareness of them until they happened or were brought to the front. Emotionally, physically, I was like in bad shape. Honestly,
really?
Like 2 years ago, bad shape. Like no one could tell. I feel like
that's
also
the thing,
just
you have like a small body.
Yeah. So you really can't tell that you're down. So there was that. I never used to eat well. You just go like on one meal a day.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
remember
breakfast.
that.
And I'm going through my day, doing my rounds, all those things. Spiritually, that's the only thing I ever felt like I had unlocked was my spirituality. But you see, also that became something I'm putting a crutch on. Is okay, fine, maybe all these things are not working, but this one thing is fine. So as long as I have this one thing, everything else will figure itself out. It's about balance. And I feel like I've never had that balance. So spiritually, I think I was lost because I wanted to be this poster child for this thing that you stand for, but I was not allowing myself to have like human emotions. If I'm feeling depressed, I was not allowing myself to seem depressed or act depressed because you can't be believing the things you believe in and then you're still experiencing human problems. In that sense, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You get, so I was not doing that justice to myself. And all these things put in like one pot to boil. How am I releasing all these things? So smoking weed. I felt like I was doing things to make the pressure less. And so it started with one thing and then it's just you slowly graduate into other things because
it's
a wave. It's like it's a wave. And I literally believe that when people say gateway, it's gateway.
Yeah.
And I never caught myself until where I'm at the edge. And the edge for me was like a deep depression that I think had been there for so long. I was just never privy to it because I'm still doing the things that I know are numbing everything. So the depression hits, and then the end was just like mad suicidal thoughts. But you see, not everyone is understanding how I've gotten to point B.
Yeah, everyone is just like, you were good though.
You skipped,
like
how you just here. But
yeah.
For me on the inside, I feel like it's something I've been driving, I've been walking this thing, so for me it made total sense. But for anybody else outside looking in, this is not making any sense. You're lost. But I feel like for me, in you seeing me being lost, I feel like I found myself.
I mean, same though. Even me, it was the lack of direction, like feeling like I didn't have a direction, that made me have a direction.
Okay.
Because even for me, it's basically the same thing. Not being grounded, not having like a sense of self. I was like, okay, what am I actually doing?
Yeah.
It's a thing where you're just like, okay, what am I really doing?
Yeah.
Like, if we remove everyone from the story, what's my story? Just me as E. And so I think that's why it's been so important for me to like do the self check-ins and do the self audits, even though I do the media audits. Because when time is passing, you really don't realize time is passing.
Yeah.
Till it's passing, it's like, what?
Oh, snap, yeah.
So even just being able to like in July be like, okay, this is what happened over the past 6 months. This is how I'm feeling about these different aspects of my life, mentally, physically, emotionally. and this is what I want next. But it's not having that is when I was lost. You know, is it called group psychosis? What is it called?
Yeah, it's a group psychosis.
So that it's that thing where you just all move as a unit, and then
there's comfort in that.
You know, there's fun, but there's also a lot of escapism.
I think that's the thing.
But I decided to be defined outside that and define it myself and see what that means. It still sucks when you start like realizing that you're lost or that you're lacking something emotionally. Being able to stand on your own means that you might lose some people.
It was one of the biggest or the toughest decisions I had to make, was knowing that it's only me who can pick myself up. I'm not ignoring the fact that there's family around you at that point in time, and I feel like family is not really in it the way you're in it, but you become so good at playing, you know, two sides. So there's what you present to your family, so they know this version of Shaga or Edna, and they know you for that. And then there's this other side where you know it's all my heart, all the things I'm really, really experiencing. They don't get to see it, and even the people that are surrounding yourself, they don't really get to see it. So I feel like you're the only person who
knows
yourself, like your true self, knows all these things, is carrying all these things, but you feel kind of trapped between two worlds where you feel like I should be able to at least express myself in one of these sides, but I really can't tell my family what I'm really going through. I can't tell my friends what I'm really going through. There's some I know I can trust and tell them, but at the same time, they're also going through their own life things. So is it selfish of me to come and start telling you, these are all my problems? I don't move like that, but I'm starting to learn how to do it now. So that was it. I'm stuck between these two places, and out of that, like crumbling, and I felt like I had to be broken down by the universe because that question always kept ringing in my head is, then who are you, Shaga? And who are you? Like, minus all these things. Because I always wanted to, like, you know, have a podcast, I did it. You always wanted to DJ, you did it. So all these things I was ticking off my box, I'm just like, fine, I said I want to do them and I'm doing them, but then
the satisfaction
wasn't there. So I feel like, was it a way of me being able to show that, okay, fine, whatever you guys can do, I can do. And so validate me in terms of being able to be included in a certain group. That's one. Two is it also a way of proving to myself that I can manifest things, achieve them, and then you can do the next thing. All those things were coming together, so I had to be broken down, and that's what I understood. Like, I feel like when you get lost to some point where it's just, you've reached the end of like the maze, it's just a wall, the thing has to be broken down. Like, for it to actually be able to get out, this thing has to be, either you go up and you're able to see it from, like, you know, bird's eye view. And that can only happen, I think, when you've torn yourself down to allow, like, it's gonna sound weird, but for the universe to lift you above the maze, for you to be able to see where you're actually supposed to be going. And I think that's what happened, is I got so lost that the universe, and it's destiny. But the other question I'd ask is, so in you getting lost, what influenced you into like getting, so apart from, you know, you wanted to feel like there's this comfort in the group, do you feel like it was something deeper than just wanting to be in a group that led you to feel like you were doing things that were leading you astray from your purpose?
I think comfort was the biggest thing, because it's also the thing of where I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing on the surface level. So like, there's nothing I should really be worried about. Where am I stressed? Like, see, everything's good. See, I'm still on track to graduate. I'm already doing this course. I already have a job. Like, everything's good. So why am I tripping about this? But it's like, it's because you've never really actually just been alone with your thoughts, completely like devoid of escapism and all these other things you're trying to do that you don't realize. All those are such surface level things.
So why should I be?
So what do I actually feel like inside, just me by myself? So comfort is a major thing. Being away from it is so uncomfortable that you just don't
want
even,
to be away
it's
from
just
it.
like
Okay.
What about you?
I feel like it's that. I'm not being left to be alone with my own thoughts. Because I feel like I'm a thinker. Just by nature, I'm a thinker. And I'll analyze things. So I knew, like, I wasn't ignorant. Like, I knew I'm not feeling okay. Like, things are not really okay. But do I want to think about it? No.
Not really.
And then whatever activities or whatever things I'm doing are allowing me not to have really to think about it. So it's nice. Escapism again. And it's numbing the pain. But I mean, it was something so fundamentally like ingrained in me, not dealing with things that happened in my childhood or in my past, and those things just keep creeping up on you, and I felt like you can't run, but things are always, it's a monkey on your back. So the breaking down of everything for me was these things being brought to my attention, and there's no running now. It's like I'm being cornered and I have to deal with them now. Either that or it's just you start this whole vicious cycle again, and then you end up in the same place you've always ended up, and it's not. So I feel like I always get far and then I'm taken back, because there's no far in this, wherever you're going. You might go far this direction, but it's not the right direction. Yes, I feel like you have to be taken back to go the right way. So for me, it's not. Like, what's the thing that made you, and check yourself to be like, okay, fine, you know what, Edna, you're lost.
It was the cycles in my life, the patterns in my life, in terms of my relationship, even in terms of my achievements. Yeah, but I was just like, there's something here that I'm not understanding, and it's not right. Like, why does this keep happening? There must be something that I need to think about. So that's what I was like, let me maybe just step back and think about it without any external influence. And then that now is what led me to making decisions about my day-to-day that will allow me to just be more reflective, like to cut out the escapism, to be sober and just be with my thoughts, and to just from the patterns and the cycles. I wasn't happy, because it's the same thing when you say you feel like you've gone so far, or like you've built this thing and then it just crumbles, and it's like, I've been here before, I'm tired, I'm not doing this dance again.
Okay, I think it's never been out of my own, like, you know, volition. Like, I wanted to think about these things, or be in a position I want to think about them. And that's why I strongly believe, like, just there's a way the universe corrects itself through you. And I feel like that was it. It's just, okay, fine, you need to make a change, you need to have a purpose to, like, make a difference, but you can't make that difference when you're doing the same things that it's trying to correct. Why would I end up here then? You get the, why would I end up in this position where if all I'm radiating is just positivity, why am I still here? So the answer was, it can be shining on the outside, but if the inside is not correct, that light won't last long. It's like it's a fake light. So being able to find myself, just, it came through appreciating small things. Who or what do you feel like supported or was really there for you when you were going through this whole, I think it's a transformation?
I think it's just the small signs you get. Like, for me, friends, just having more meaningful connections. Fewer connections, but more meaningful. Like, it's not, you don't have 50 friends that you see every time anymore, but you have like 10 friends who you can talk about anything with, and who actually check in on you, actually you check in on them, that sort of thing. And then also just the clarity, just feeling like your head is clear. I don't know how to explain this. You feel like you can see where you're going, you just feel like you connect the dots. Those are the things for me that I was like, okay, maybe it was worth it. In the midst of like losing friends and being isolated from certain groups and realigning all your goals, at least there was like, there were small things that were happening that was like, okay, this is what makes it worth it.
Like, you know, the butterfly, when it's like, it's a caterpillar. It's a caterpillar. I feel like when you're lost, you're a caterpillar because you don't understand the potential that you really have, but you can be stuck saying, I'm just this caterpillar. And I'll only do things caterpillars do. And I'll always, forever, be a caterpillar. But I feel like when you get lost, that's it. Like, you only think of yourself as this one thing and you stick to that. You really don't understand the power you actually hold within yourself to transform things about your life. But as long as you surround yourself with people who also have the same mentality about themselves, they might know they're great, yes, but are we moving the right way to achieve ultimate greatness? So if not, we're always going to see that caterpillar.
With time, as people change, they fall off. So make sure you have your own vision for yourself outside everyone else, because you can't peg it on anyone.
I always looked at it from friends to give it to me, relationships to give that to me. It was never me being the center
of it.
You see, like with clay, remember, like you used to play with clay as a kid. So if you just made a pot, but you know you didn't like put water on it at least every other day, the thing would just crack. So I feel like also to nurture this thing I was trying to mold, there's certain things I've been doing to ensure. Like, you get what I'm saying? So like for you, I'd ask,
what certain things have you been
what certain things have you been doing to ensure that, you know, you stay intact without cracking? Because there's that kind, you can slip because it's just like,
that's the thing.
Okay, fine, you know what, I've come this far, so what more do I need to do? Or why do I need to continue this? See, I've made it here, so why do I need? So what are those things you've been doing?
For me, the self-check-ins, are so important. But I think it's also what you said, it's never linear. Still have your moments of what you described, which is basically insight, where you catch yourself and it's like, oh, I'm slipping. So it's not like now you're like found and you'll be found for the rest of your life. There's still consistent like trials and things that happen in your life where you're just like, yeah, I really want to do a life book. I just want to remain in touch with myself, and through that at least be able to maintain healthy relationships with my friends, my family. And I want to save. Savings is something that I feel like is when I'm doing good, like I'm saving. When I'm like not doing good, I'm using that money to buy things I don't really need.
How do you like not judge people who are doing the things you used to do?
Sometimes you judge. Sometimes you catch yourself, you're just like, I'm judging. But then the other side of it is like you empathize, you're like, I remember being there, I know what it's like to like have circumstances that make you like that. So it's just like, it's a balance between being human and judging them and also trying to empathize. It's not like every day I'm like, oh, I understand. Some days I'm just like, why can't you get your shit together? And then other days I'm just like, I feel for you. Like, don't worry. Being able to respect that everyone's on their journey and I don't need to say
I was going to say that. I was going to be like, you know what, people arrive at that point on their own.
You know, you think back and like, I wasted so much time.
Doing all this.
It was part of it.
You wouldn't be here if you didn't go through that. So there's someone who might be listening and then they're lost. There's a but where you recognize that you've been lost, but you don't know what to do. You're just like in limbo. And then there's the found, and the found is okay, fine. I kind of put myself together, but how do I keep myself from going back to the but and the lost? Those are the three people who might be listening to this.
Lost, I would say, lost mostly, but it applies to every stage. I would say self-compassion. Like, just be forgiving to yourself and just show some love to yourself at the end of the day. Like, you already have a level of awareness that is something to be proud of. Like, you already realize it, or you may not realize it, but you feel something's off. Trust that thing, but forgive yourself even as you notice that it's off. You? Lost?
I think the lost is, it's necessary. I think that, because you know you're sitting there wondering,
what's the point?
Why? You know why? But I feel like it's necessary. And I like what you said. It's the self-awareness of you actually being able to tell that, you know what, I think I'm lost. That's important. I feel like as long as you're aware that you're lost, you're going to get through to the end. It's a whole different thing if you don't even understand, you don't even know you're lost. So I feel like as long as you feel like you're lost and you think you're lost, you're really on the right track. I feel like that's already step number one. So cool, that's lost. The but one is in limbo.
I think, what worked for me was like doing like a graph or a chart of my life. Like, this is what I've done. And then just looking at my life until that point. But more like highs and lows. It's just sort of looking back to see where you've come from and then looking forward to see where you want to go. Not everything might make sense in that moment when you're like trying to see what. But in your butt,
you need to grow up.
When you're in that state, just what worked for me at least is trying to just see what the vision is. And also when you're looking at the past, don't just look at the bad things, also like the good things. Like, you got the job, you said you got a job. At least. You know, you graduated at least. You know, like those small little milestones. Also appreciate them as you look at the bad things. What about you?
Stuck in the middle is use the darkness. Like, there's a way you can use the darkness as your friend. And the friends, in the sense that I think that's also a point where you can build some strength in you. Look at the milestones you've achieved, but also be able to honestly understand yourself. And it's time for you to be able to really pick what you really love about yourself. So I would not do, that's what I'm saying, so opposite, and I like it, is I would not be able to do that whole audit of, check my life now or go to the future.
No, it's just because at that point I was reading about Kensha and Satori, and I was like,
maybe.
I wonder what
my,
how it relates to me, and I was like, let me just put it down on paper.
I feel like being in the bad place is pivotal. So it determines how fast can you slip back to being lost. But if you're really, really about changing, you're able to solidify the found part, because this is where you start building your foundation on, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is my future, and I think the limbo part is your foundation, and I think if you get your foundation right, it's strong enough now to build.
And also, I would say take it a day at a time.
That's something I
Like just
struggle with.
one day at a time.
That's something.
Even me, it's something I struggle with. Sometimes it's like one day at a time. Some days it's just like, what's the fucking point of all this? Like, as in, doesn't have to happen every day.
I get what you mean. It's the patience.
Yeah, a day at a time.
Yeah,
That's all you can do.
true. And then now to the
Found. Accept that it's not linear. That you can be found and still mess up, and that's fine.
Okay.
And try now and be gentle with other people. You might think you're found and be like,
So what are you
put yourself on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Try and just be human and understand. But it's like the middle between being human and not trying to save everyone.
Or make excuses for other people.
Yeah.
There's that part, yeah. I
Yeah.
get it.
Try to be patient with other people. Also be patient with yourself. Again, self-compassion. You could always like mess up. You could always go back, but just appreciate your progress. What did you say?
I think found is you really are the captain of your ship at this point. Whatever foundation you laid, I think now you have a compass, and you're able now to look at where you want to go, and you're able to shake off things a bit easier that you know that like this thing is taking me off my true north, so I don't want to go down that side. I think you become a bit more sure or confident in the choices that you're making now.
Your instinct is stronger.
That's the word I'm looking for. I guess that's episode 4 on Lost But Found. And in a sense, I feel it's the things I've never really talked to someone about. So it's I always feel like I've come from a free therapy session every time we do this thing.
Yeah, same.
And it's more of someone else now knows a bit more. Now people who are listening know about us, but it's just I've been able to speak my truth.
Yeah, it's like we share our stories.
Yeah, so this one was a bit, and like you said, it was my topic, and
I mean, I enjoyed it.
you did.
I'm always just
You did. Okay, cool.
no more negative self-talk
Okay, fine.
on the Seventh Sense podcast. No. Rule number 1
Okay.
of this community: no negative self-talk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I feel like it's always important to state that we're not sharing articles as we know everything and now we are found forever.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We're still figuring it out every day. And we've shared that we struggle with some of these things on a day-to-day, but it's just for us to like share the bits we've learned to hopefully make your journey a bit more seamless, if we can.
Seamless, and also for you not to feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
I feel like in that whole journey, you can always feel like you're alone or no one understands.
We just want to thank you guys for listening to yet another episode of The Seventh Sense. Leave us a review if you enjoy it, and please share our podcast. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week.